Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with a rare unboxing and first impressions video. I don't do these very often. I only do it for special things and when something is a limited time to get your hands on it, and this applies both ways. This is obviously a Spyderco. It is a dealer exclusive from KnifeCenter, the Cruwear Smooth G10 Manix 2. I've always been a huge Manix 2 fan. I've made no bones about that. Manix 2 Lightweight is one of my favorite knives that I've ever owned. I've had it for a very long time. And in all honesty, I kind of like the Manix 2 a bit better than the PM2, except for the way it carries. It's very wide in the pocket. But other than that, it just fits in my hand better. I got really long fingers. I've just always liked it a bit better. And I have the matching one to this. I have the PM2 in the Cruwear and the Smooth G10 from KnifeCenter. So yeah, they match. That'll be cool. I did also have the Para 3 in the same configuration, but I did sell it because I'm not a big fan of the G10 Para 3. And for size comparison purposes and stuff, I have a Para 3 lightweight that works just as well. So I let that go. Yeah, just not a Para 3 guy. I know a lot of you are. Don't throw rocks at me, but I just never been that in love with it. But the Manix 2, I very much am. I've had the lightweight for a long time. I've had a Blurple S110V before. I let that one go, and I've always been kind of keeping an eye out for another more standard Manix. I did get the Cruwear carbon fiber, which I believe also was from KnifeCenter. But somebody made me a ridiculous offer on it, and I sold it, and it was kind of too valuable to carry. This I will carry. I don't care. I carry the equivalent PM2 all the time. KnifeCenter usually gets a lot of these, so it's not super rare. I don't think it's going to like shoot up in value or anything. This is definitely going to be a user because I love the Manix 2. By the way, when you get one of their dealer exclusives or whatever, you get this extra piece of paper, kind of a way to indicate if you got a fake one or not. They seem to have a really hard time faking these just little printouts. That's always kind of an easy way to spot a fake. And also you get your usual literature that I'm sure will give the history of the Manix 2 and all that. We've covered that ad nauseum on this channel, so I'm not going to do that. But we will put everything back in the box, the little don't eat me's. There we go, put that away. Here it is. So this is kind of what I expected. The G10 is much more of a matte finish. This is the way the Para 3 I had was, where this PM2 is from the first batch they ever did, and it's a much smoother G10. And this isn't from me wearing it in. This is the way it was when I got it. So they're both definitely what I would call smooth G10. There's no grippy surface on them, but this is a bit more matte, a bit more grippy, where this is almost a polished G10. So I expected that to be a difference, and it is. So we'll put that aside again here for a moment. Let's do our first flick with this sucker and see how she runs. Yeah, not bad. Feels like a Manix. This is absolutely first time I opened it. Take a look at that, the edge on it, because that's sticking out to me. Yeah, it's very even, but man, it's not a polished edge, but it's not a mirror edge. You can't call it that, but man, it's a bit shinier than a lot of Spydercos are out of the box. Not bad. I have to say, that looks pretty good. The reason I like the Manix 2 slightly better, like I said, is just the ergonomics. It just fits my hand better with my really long fingers. They're so comfortable to use. And Cruwear is one of my favorite steels. Actually, just on the live show last night, because a guy was considering getting one of these, was asking about, is Cruwear hard to take care of, all that stuff? No, it really isn't. It's not really that much more corrosion prone than D2 is. So as soon as this is over, I'm going to put a coat of EDCI on this thing. That's the protectant stuff from Aegis. Do I have it here? I do. So yeah, put a layer of this stuff on it, and I've never had one corrode. Again, I always do put the caveat, I do live in upstate New York. It is not the most corrosion-inducing environment. It's not particularly humid here or anything. So with that caveat said, that EDCI has protected everything that I've ever needed it to protect. I've never had any problems with Cruwear, and sharpening is not that bad either. It takes a minute. It is a tool steel, so it does take a minute, but it's not difficult at all. It's not really much worse than D2, but it does have much better edge retention and stuff. It's a fantastic steel. Love me some Cruwear. And I wanted to get a Manix that a G10 Manix that I would actually carry and use again. I carry the lightweight sometimes, but wanted to get back into a G10 one, and this was an easy choice. Put it next to its brother here. Yeah, as you can see, just the finish is a little bit different between the G10s, but I'm all right with that. A lot of people ask, is that smooth G10 too smooth? Not for me, especially the design of these two knives, and even with the Para 3, I felt the same way. You're locked in these so good that if you're relying on the grippiness of the G10 to keep that thing in your hand, you're probably doing something silly that you probably shouldn't be doing with a folding knife anyway. And I'd say the Manix 2 is even more so than that. You were so locked in with the Manix 2 design, no matter where you grab it. Jimping for days on the top, jimping everywhere. Yeah, especially on the Manix 2. Yeah, you're not going to notice. And it makes it much easier to slide in and out of the pocket. Upgrades for this I already have planned. I did order a deep carry clip for it. That's not really a necessity on the Manix 2, but I like the way they look. Because a knife like this, it's kind of big. It's a bit of a pocket dominator anyway, because as you can see, you know, it's pretty dang tall in the pocket. You're pushing 2 inches. Like, people are going to notice it's there anyway. But I just like the look of a deep carry clip better, so I did that. And I've been stalking the Flytanium site all morning because they said today would be available. They're doing some titanium, what do you call these? The little ball bearing releases, I guess you'd call them, to replace this plastic. That's one thing I never liked about the Manix 2 is the plastic. I always thought that felt kind of cheap. I always thought they should put some metal on there. Well, Flytanium's making them now. I don't know a price or anything. I saw on Instagram they said they'd be out today, and I'm looking. I haven't checked their Instagram today to see if, hopefully I didn't miss it and they're all sold out, but it's not even noon yet, so I bet they just haven't put them up yet. I don't know where Flytanium is located, but maybe they're West Coast and just haven't put them up yet. But action on it so far out of the box, a little stiff. Every Manix I've ever gotten was that way out of the box. I'm not going to do a full teardown, but let me grab. I have a T10 here anyway because I was kind of prepared because I knew it's always T10. I'm just going to loosen these up a little bit. The centering looked good too. I didn't show that on camera, but I glanced at it while I was moving it around. So just loosen those up, a little quarter turn each. There we go. Centering's still good. So maybe a bit off on one side. Let me tighten this one back down a little bit. There we go. Centering's perfect again. And yep, now it's a drop shutty, smooth little Manix. I'll tear this down at some point. Well, I'm going to have to tear it down to switch these little studs out. So once I get those, I will do a full tear down and clean it and all that stuff. But until then, yeah. That's what I like. I just love the Manix 2, man. I'm so glad to have a regular one back in my life. I love the lightweight too, but I'm glad to have a regular one back in my life. So this one's going to be around for a while. This one's for me to use. But if you want one, 130 bucks, man, that is ridiculously good value for Cruwear Manix. That is, forget the smooth G10. That's just an awesome price. And like I said, it is a dealer exclusive. Could they go up in value someday? A lot of people will worry about that. I don't that much. And as I've said before, I rarely keep sprint runs. I had the carbon fiber Manix with the Cruwear from, I think it was also from KnifeCenter. Somebody offered me a ridiculous amount of money for it, and I sold it. But I think with the KnifeCenter exclusives, they usually order them in quite a large number, and use it. This is just to use. This is just $130, good value for Cruwear. Use it. I want to say my PM2 was only like $155. I think that the Para 3 was about the same. Yeah, buy one and use it. Don't make these things a safe queen. They're not meant for that. They're just meant to be a really cool, usable option. And go grab one if you can. As of right now at 11:48 on July 8th. Let me hit refresh. Yep, still available. Still says add to cart, not pre-order, anything like that. So I'll link to it down below. Go grab you one. Hope you guys have enjoyed this and found it somewhat informative. You know, check us out down below, support the Patreon, all that good stuff. I'm going to sit and fondle this knife for a while and take Instagram pictures of it for an hour or so. So thank you guys for watching. I've been Brian. Have a good one.